Hello, welcome back to Blenderian Live Noding. In this episode, I want to do like a improvisation live noding. This one was inspired by Benny Govaerts. So Benny Govaerts posted this just now, actually not a few hours ago. So it's basically like a way to make like an organic looking 3D mesh, right? So all you need to do if you saw something like this, okay, this is like a gem. This is like a recipe, like to make like a procedural creations. And normally I look for the green lines. This one doesn't have green lines, so but anyway, look at the green nodes. You start okay, I think Benny started with a curve line and then he resampled it twice, and then he used the point volume. Okay, so this was made by using point volume, but he is also using this spline parameter vector that's plugged into the float curve. Okay, so I didn't always memorize everything, but I sort of knows what's going on. So we can, okay, start with the default cube, right? Now I just gonna open up geometry nodes. So this is normally what I do if I'm studying other people node tree. Sometimes they also provide video tutorial, but Benny doesn't do video tutorial, but I will try. Anyway, so curve line. So by default, curve line actually create curve. Okay, so and then you can resample it whatever, how many times you want. You can actually just do it once, but Benny did it twice. So I don't know if that's necessary. Let me try actually just using this. Okay, curve line resample. So by resampling, you're gonna get points. Eventually, he used the point to volume and volume to mesh. Okay, so that's what he did. Let's save this very quickly. BG random. And okay, we can resample it 5 times, which also gives something like that if you change the radius. If you resample this again, okay, you're gonna get something different. Let's see how it works when we actually use it with this spline parameter. Okay, spline parameter. We don't need this group input, so spline parameter, and then we need a curve float, and we're gonna be using the vectors. This one goes into the radius. Okay, currently it doesn't give us anything. Okay, so he did something with the noise texture and the map range. Okay, all right. Noise texture, maybe. Map range, let's try this. So I'm remapping the curve. Oh, actually, I know why. The vector should go into the value. So that's something to be aware of. Vector goes into the value. So now we're starting to get something. So we can control the radius. Okay, all right. So we're getting somewhere. I think so. He made changes to the curve. So this control kind of like the lofting of the curve. All right. He actually adds noise that's been multiplied by 1. And then multiply it again with the curve for the map range. Okay. It's slightly strange, but try. When you use math, be careful, there's math and the vector math. In this case, we want to use vector math. Multiply All right. Now the color is different. Okay, anyway, this. So the noise should be, with the noise actually I want to normally just add minus 0.5 to this. So this is noise, and then just add it with minus 0.5, and normally I want to add my own map range, or actually just plug this here, and vector math, just multiply this. It should have some kind of effects. Okay, yeah, I think I'm okay with this. It's I think that's better. Let's continue with resample. We can increase the resampling. I think if you're doing like a resample over here, you can set position, and you can add some kind of randomization here. So I always, I don't always follow the recipe like completely. So I try to make something and try something different. It's not like this is like something really unique or special. Because I don't know what I'm trying to create here, but based on the idea, I'm gonna test. Just add my own ideas and see how it goes, because in the end you're gonna modify the nodes anyway. So point to volume, volume to mesh with adaptivity. I like the use of adaptivity here. It's reducing the mesh resolutions, but it's actually adding some variations. Okay, by this time you can also triangulate and dual mesh. Triangulate and dual mesh. This gives you the kind of like a Voronoi look, and that's the randomizations of the vector. We don't need to be too crazy with the vector. We can multiply and scale this. Okay, so this is the original curve. So I think we are making kind of like a staff, like a magician staff. So curve line with some lines that we already resample. I'm okay with 7, but we are actually increasing. We can increase the number of sampling here. This is for our points to volume. Okay, density. Okay, density can go. Benny actually goes lower and increase the number here. So we have more details that way. Triangulate, dual mesh, extrude, scale, delete geometry. Okay, extrude, scale. Extrude and scale and delete. Okay, alright. Extrude. And then scale. I think here, of course, just scaling the top part. Let's give you this spike. And delete geometry. Delete geometry, only the face, and then shade smooth. Oh, okay, I know. And I think he's extruding only the part where there's a Voronoi texture. Okay, Voronoi texture just for randomizations when doing the cut. Color ramp. Make it very contrasty. And then I think he did subdivide. Subdivide is Control 2 and then okay. It does look quite nice and organic here. Something that you might find on nature, if you go to nature, maybe near the oceans, you get this kind of shapes. Pass this seed outside. So we have control for the seed here. Now we can have multiple different versions. You can randomize the seed using expression or using sphere chop. It's kind of neat, and we can always still come back to this. Let's, for example, reduce the number so it's a little bit faster for us to play around. If you're selecting multiple objects like this, and then you hold options and then just drag the seed, you can see the seed numbers changing all together. And the stuff have these variations, float curve, and also we can randomize the noise along the curve. I believe there's a multiplier, and then there's this control for the radius. So this really add a lot, and random variations will happen along the way. So if you want to actually make you want to use your own curve or something, you can just replace the curve line. So it's quite possible that you want to do that. So maybe you want to make like a switcher, but this might work only with a curve geometry. Currently our object is a mesh object, so maybe I don't do that for now. This curve line you can just replace with a curve circle. Yeah, see, we get something totally different. Something that you might want to do or not. But I think, yeah, I like these organic shapes. It's really cool. You can make like a primitives Olympic logo. If you feel like you want to some more inspirations, I give you these inspirations. It's something a little bit different, just like a twisted torus. Extrude scale. This is like yeah, just the same process, same nodes, some scale elements, and I'm using sphere chalk. In this case it's a torus, but there are 3 different kind of creations, and each one have different topology. Geometry nodes handling the extrusions, while sphere chop, for example, using the torus and diamond mesh, you're gonna get this result over here, and you can still make changes. Sphere chalk is actually really good if you're making like a procedural surface with a topology. And there's this one, there's a simple torus, but I'm using this spin. Oh, actually the spin twist. So this one's adding the twist. similarly, this one using the same method, but in this case I'm twisting this using polyline viewer. So 3 different methods there. You can actually bring them into similar setup. Okay, or you just bring this setup into the other one and it should just work. I believe so. So let me grab this and save new blend, copy, open the other one, the random one. Let's see. So I'm deleting everything except this one. I'm gonna delete these nodes. I delete geometry nodes. I end up with this just curve. I paste the other one. Assign a geometry nodes. Okay, we have this. We can now use group input. So our torus from sphere chop is now being passed into this guy. So now it's geometry nodes. This is sphere chop circle. Because sphere chop is also kind of, you can control the radius. So random number. Let's set material, give it our cool material and save this very quickly. Subdivide, and let's get rid of the wires for now. Give it some light, area light. Shortcut is Shift T, by the way. If you duplicate and Shift T, you can point to wherever you like. All right, let's play around with scaling. At this point, you can add solidify just to give it something different. Okay, we have the radius. We can use randomize. Sphere chop actually have randomize, so it's this one is randomizing our donuts circle. So now we have more organic shapes. Yeah, so in general, that's pretty much the process. So from Benny, thanks Benny for the example. You have like endless result. Your creations might be different from mine. Here you can use solidify. These shapes is just really nice looking and organic. You can create like a character this way, but I think it's, at the moment it's more like a plant. The one that might be slightly tricky that you want to try is probably like branching. You make the branch anyway. You can use skin modifier, make like a branching, reshape it yourself, and then you just use the same geometry setup, geometry node setup, and you have the result. You can, I think you can turn this into cyclic again at some point. Okay. Input geometry has unsupported type mesh. All right. Interesting. Maybe I need to zero this out. try. If you zero this out over here, it's gonna become a curve over here. It's a lot of little things like that. Oh no, it's still complaining. It says it's actually a mesh, not a curve. Anyhow, I think I went too deep with this. So yeah, if you find like a recipe like this, yeah, I think I recommend you to follow Benny. Benny have a lot of example of geometry nodes, lots of recipe. Yeah, Benny Media on Twitter. He makes a lot of cool stuff and a lot of recipe like this that you can follow and recreate, and most of them are kind of like a medium intermediate level of difficulty. So if you are new to geometry nodes, I recommend Benny's example, and lots of my example. Also, my video tutorial is pretty basic. If you want to go a little bit high level, you go try Arindale's or Bradley Animations. But also I want to recommend you to try to follow Johnny Matthews. Johnny Matthews also is really good. Johnny Matthews, he made the video tutorial also. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you find this useful and interesting. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.